Hello, leaders. Okay. I always feel like making my rounds, doing all the pit stops, doing all the things here and there, talking here, talking there, doing what I need to do. Okay. We are going to do Tip Thursday. I'm going to get started right away because I got things to do. I got work to get done, y'all. Got goals to hit. All right. We're done being grasshoppers. That's where we're at today. We are done being grasshoppers, okay? I'm going to explain it, so don't be like, what is she talking about? This girl is crazy. You already knew that, okay? You already knew I was crazy, but we're done being grasshoppers. Hey, Amanda, okay? Listen to this. Grasshoppers, okay, cannot think on their own, okay? Grasshoppers cannot think on their own, okay? They mimic whatever they hear, and then they just respond, right? Think of when you hear all the grasshoppers chirping, okay? Hey, Sylvia, hey, Jacqueline, oh my gosh, hey, Jessica, hey, everybody, Lord, okay? Grasshoppers don't really have a brain, okay? They don't think on their own. They really just follow the crowd. They mimic with whatever they hear, and then they do the same thing, like, okay? There's no like, boop, boop. It's not like that, all right? They do the same thing, okay? We ain't gonna be like that, all right? So I want you to remember, as a leader, okay, whatever you're chirping or speaking, okay, or showing or not showing up for or to do or training or leading by example, okay, whatever you're doing in that, that's what your team's gonna do, okay? That's what your team's going to do, all right? So I want you to think about that. I want you to know, as a leader, you set the tone for your group, okay? You ever heard, I think it's a book or it's a saying, where they say mom sets the tone? It's the same thing, right? If I come into the room and I'm so excited and I'm full of joy and my kids are sitting there and they're going to be like excited and full of joy too, like, why is she so happy? What's going on? If I come in and I'm a whirlwind and I'm pissed and I'm mean, that literally just pours into my whole entire family. Then everybody's pissy. All of a sudden, I used to say, how come I can never be mad on my own in my own house? Why can I never be mad on my own? Why is it that every time I turn around and I'm pissed off about something, all of a sudden everybody else is pissed off too? Because mom sets the tone, okay? That's something I had to learn very, very early. Mom sets the tone. Leaders, you set the tone. You set the tone for your team. You set the tone for your group. And I know some of you are like, dang, but I've been spinning my wheels and I've been doing the most and like my team still won't show up. Okay. That does happen. That does happen. You have to keep going. And if you can get this in practice now to not be a grasshopper, okay, if you can get it rolling now, then when that teammate comes along that is like, oh, we're doing the darn thing. Or all of a sudden those teammates wake up, it is going to bless your business and your leadership like no other. Like no other, okay? So, you set the tone. Leaders, you've got to watch and think before you speak, okay? If you are sitting here and you're like, oh my gosh, these new shipping charges, this is just terrible, and why are we even here? Oh my goodness, I can't believe the flash sale didn't last any longer. That attitude is going to transfer down to your group. I wonder why they don't want to work. I wonder why they don't want to be a part of anything. I wonder why they won't respond to a message, okay? We've got to have some internal self-reflection, and it freaking sucks. Don't get me wrong. Internal self-reflection is not fun sometimes, okay? But we've got to have that. Why is everybody thinking this? Why is everybody doing it? And what part did I play, okay? That's what we have to be doing as leaders. What parts did I play in that, okay? Your thoughts and your emotions combined become a belief in your life. All right, it becomes a belief. So I have a new teamie, and I have actually been correcting her every single time she says this. I hope she doesn't get annoyed with me, but it's for her own benefit, so there's that. But she's like, oh, sorry I asked that. I'm so stupid. Man, I'm so stupid. I couldn't figure that out. And every single time I'm like, you're not stupid. You're very smart. You're not stupid. You're very smart. And I'm going to keep saying it. Maybe she'll get annoyed with me. I don't know. She'll be okay, because guess what? Nobody stopped her. Nobody has stopped this girl from saying that. She truly believes it because it keeps coming out. It keeps coming out in the things that she's doing or the things that she's asking me. And I'm like, you're not stupid. You've been a consultant for less than a week. Like, girl, you're not dumb. It's a lot. I'm like waterboarding you with information. You can only catch so much in your mouth. The rest of it's going away, okay? Then we'll just pick it back up later, all right? But that's the thing, is those things become beliefs, all right? So what we say and our thoughts really truly become beliefs. And we've got to be very, very careful with that, because when you repeat that belief, it becomes a habit. It becomes a part of you. So the fact that this girl keeps saying this, it's a part of who she is at this point in time. It won't be by the time I'm done with her, in the name of Jesus. But it's a part of who she is, okay? And we're not doing that, all right? You as a leader, I know it's really hard to believe, and sometimes it's hard to think, and that's where mindset comes in. But you've got to realize you get to pour into these people in a very special way that most people don't, all right? They might go to a 9-to-5 job and not have anybody that's an encourager or an uplifter or that points out something that's good. Maybe that's not even based on performance. Maybe they're just pointing out, you know what? It is so awesome that you're smiling all the time. I always see you smile. That's so awesome, right? That has nothing to do with how they're performing. Wow, it is so awesome that you post motivation to our team page. I'm really thankful that at least somebody is posting some good, positive things onto our team page. Thank you for that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the world, we're all so in a hurry, and I get caught up in it too. I have to remind myself often, but we're so in a hurry to do all the things that we don't pay attention to the little things that actually matter. And we've got people all over the world that just have these awful beliefs about themselves. Okay? And as leaders, as Scentsy leaders and in this group, we've got to remember that we have the power to be different. We have the power to impact our teams and love on them in a way that most people don't get loved on or uplifted or encouraged. All right? So I feel like that's super important just to remember, because it's so easy to forget. It's simple, but it's easy to forget. Probably why it's simple, because it's easy to forget. Okay, moving on. All right? You cannot follow the chirp of the grasshopper and be a strong leader. You cannot just be chirping all the things that all the other people are chirping, right? If there's one negative post and you start chirping all that negativity, you can't do that and be a good leader. All right? That's a follower. That's what that is. That's a follower. But you're a leader because you're in Legacy Leaders. You're a leader for a reason, okay? I highly encourage you to write it down. I'm a leader for a reason. Because we forget that sometimes, but there's a reason you're in this group. There's a reason you have the sponsor you have. There's a reason that you have the team that you have and they came and joined you. There's a reason, okay? Because guess what? When you're looking at all these people who are joining different people and you're like, wait a minute, that girl's on my Facebook too. Why didn't she join me? There's a reason she picked her sponsor. It might just simply be because they asked and you didn't, right? Or it might be because they see, hold on, that person is always encouraging. That person is not shouting a bunch of negative stuff on their social media. Or that person posts about Scentsy a lot. When I think of Scentsy, I think of that person. I'm not going to join this person who never posts about Scentsy. What are they going to teach me? How are they going to help me get to my goals? Your people picked you for a reason. You are a leader in this group for a reason, okay? And it's an important one. Even if you don't feel like it is yet, it is. But you have to choose what to do with that, right? Like, it could be important, but if you don't do anything with it, then the importance wasn't fulfilled. All right? So I want you guys to think about that. You cannot follow the chirp of all of the people and be a good leader, okay? You have to learn, as we all do, in our lives to be content but not complacent. What does that mean? We're thankful for what we have, but we're always working. We're always trying to better ourselves as leaders. We're always trying to help our teamies. We're happy with where we're at. You're not sitting here as a star consultant being like, I am focused on superstar mentality or superstar director mentality. That's great, but there's steps in between that, right? There's foundational steps in between that to help you be the best SSC you can be. But if you're just looking way up here and you're not focused on where you're at, being the best star you can be, that's not going to get you where you need to be, okay? So you be content where you're at, but not like, I'm going to be a star for forever. This is great. We're going to keep going, all right? Okay, so in your business, we have all had really crappy times. We've had crappy months. We've had maybe even crappy consultants. Just going to be honest, because that's what I do. We're honest. We do sometimes have crappy consultants, or maybe consultants who join and it's just not the time for them, or they're just not into it. They don't like it, right? If we focus on that, on the past, okay, constantly, we cannot move into our future. As a leader, you cannot move into, I'm so excited, one day I'm going to be a superstar consultant. Right now I'm a star consultant, but man, I had a really bad month last month and that's where my focus is. Man, I didn't sponsor anybody the past 2 months, and that's where my focus is. If your focus is on all of that negativity that happened before, it's done, it's over with. What are we going to do with it? We're going to do better. We're going to work towards better, okay? That's how you get to the business of your dreams, your business of your future. Not focusing on the crap, okay? I'll even go as far as to say, because somebody needs to hear it, not blaming your crappy sponsor. We're just going to put that out there, okay? We're just going to put that out there. It can't be that. You have shining examples of people who have freaking rocked it out and are now superstar directors who didn't have a present sponsor. Hello? Okay? We're not going to focus on having a crappy sponsor when we want to get to where we want to be. We're not doing that. We're focusing on how can I be the best leader I can be. Okay? Stop blaming your sponsor. We're done with that. You have so many resources. Good Lord. Like, who cares? Move on. Okay? Your crappy sponsor should not stop you from getting the business of your dreams. There. I said it. Don't let them have that power over you. They don't deserve it. Okay? Okay. I'm feeling sassy today, y'all. I'm feeling sassy. Just like, that's how I feel. All right. Moving on, okay? I want you guys to think about this. Your limiting belief system, you're sitting here in the negativity, okay? It is literally just consequential to your leadership and your mindset, okay? It does not help you do anything good, holding on to all of that. Thank you. Jacqueline's like, yeah, give it to me. She's like, give me the sass. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you focusing on all that, all right? I want you to think about this. Those people that sit where they're at and they've never ever moved up, you know them, you've seen them. People who just, they're on the team, but they complain all the time. They never have a positive word to say, okay? They're fussy about everything, all right? Those people have a grasshopper mindset, and it's going to keep them exactly where they're at. It's not going to get them to the next level. It's going to keep them exactly where they're at. Okay, exactly where they're at. So I want you to think about this too. If you have disbelief in yourself, okay, and a lack of faith in yourself, all right, and your dreams and what is possible with this business, that becomes a thought pattern, all right? You guys know I'm super huge on your mindset, super, super huge. I've actually not really been focused on mine as much until recently, and there's a huge difference in just me and who I am, and I'm like my parenting, my motherhood, and like, ugh, who am I? Why am I doing this? My leadership. Your mindset is literally everything, okay? But if you sit here and you lack that faith and you're like, I will never be the title that I want to be. I will never have that dream check. I will never have great, strong, foundational leaders, okay? If you sit here and you stick yourself in that, it literally becomes a thought pattern of your business. You're going to stop operating like that. If you keep operating like that, you're definitely not going to get those things, okay? Not only are you now operating in that and it's affecting your personal business, it is trickling down to your team. Now your team is thinking like that. Now they don't believe. They have no hope that this business can bless them big. When we all know that it can because we've watched SSDs do it. We've heard their stories, okay? We know this business can do big things, but you have to put in the work. That's it. And you got to believe that it's possible. And that starts with not having a grasshopper mindset. We're done with being grasshoppers, okay? All right. So, you guys, our thought patterns, I actually read this last night in this book that I'm reading right now, but our thought patterns are kind of like a hiking trail, okay, in our head, right? And a trail is like maintained. How does a trail stay a trail? By lots of people walking on it. Lots of traffic walking all over it, okay? And they're walking on it regularly, right? The more journeys on the trail, the more established the trail is. Okay, so the more people that walk up and down that trail, the more established it is. I actually drove past a weird trail today on the way back from the gym, but I was driving past and there's just this random like trail in the grass. And I'm like, how many people had to walk? Because I read this last night. How many people had to walk on that trail to get it to where it's like just dirt and I can see it from the road, but it's surrounded by grass and trees and it's in the most random place. Like, that was a lot of people. Someone was coming from somewhere that had to keep cutting through that way, right? They had to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Multiple people probably. So now it's an established trail. They're actually trying to make a sidewalk around it. So there's that. Because it's like all bushes and all trees and grass and then just this random little trail. It's very interesting. I'll try to take a picture of it maybe one day if I remember. Anyways, but here's the thing. If everybody stopped walking on it, This actually goes with the sidewalk. If everybody stops walking on that trail and they start walking on the sidewalk, what happens? That grass is going to grow. Those leaves are going to come over the trail, right? And then that trail is no longer accessible. Okay, you get it? Our thought patterns, right? So if you're journeying down that negative thought pattern day after day after day after day, and you stay in there, I'm never going to have my dream title. I'm never going to get that dream check. I'm never going to be able to quit my 9 to 5. I'm never going to be. This isn't going to happen. It's not real. Over and over and over again, that is established in your mind. That's what you believe. It is set in stone, baby, because you're not working for anything different. Okay? Now, if you shut that down and you're like, no, I'm going to change that thought pattern. I'm done. We're not doing that. This is possible. Let me go watch 3 people's success stories. This is possible. I can do it. I've just got to work for it. They say I've got to work for it. I've got to believe in myself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's going to create a whole new trail. Okay? A whole different trail. And that negative trail is done. It's done and it's gone. Okay? You even try to go back there and it's going to be harder to go back there because it's all overgrown. All right? So we have to remember that negative trail is going to disappear. Nature is going to take its course, and it's literally going to just like right on top of it. Okay. I want you guys to redirect your thoughts when it comes to disbelief, when it comes to negativity, when it comes to even disappointment. We can be honest. Let's be honest. I wish there was a little bit more communication when we had the flash sale. Like, we will do the sale until, right? But there wasn't, and that's okay. We also know a flash sale, get in, get out, hurry up. We know this, okay? We know it was only for 24 hours. Like, it's okay. It's okay, all right? That's why we hustle and we share and we do all the work, all right? And then we tell our customers, hurry up, get in there quickly, in and out, in and out, in and out, all right? Because you don't want things taken from your cart anyways, okay? But if we're focused on that, our team's gonna be focused on that. And we have other things to focus on. Because the flash sale should not be our entire month. We have goals and things to do. And if you've hit your goal, you now need to be upping your goal for the next one. Let's do it big. Let's see what else we can do and push ourselves. Okay? All right. So we are going to stop walking down the negative trails, the trails of disbelief, acting like grasshoppers, being negative and awful. Okay? We're creating a new one with a belief that's going to take us in a completely new direction. A completely new direction. Okay? I want you to think about this fact. The more you start thinking and capturing those thoughts and being like, no, this is wrong, than filling yourself up with a success story or filling yourself up with, I know I can do this because statements, right? I can, I am statements. The more you do that, the more it's going to pour into your team. And you're going to see your team completely change. They're going to start to become encouraged. They're going to start to believe that they can do it too, okay? You're going to start to believe that you can do it too, all right? And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. A beautiful, beautiful thing. And it will become more natural the more that you do it, okay? It's actually scientifically proven that we can redirect our neurological pathways. Is that not so freaking cool? The human body is so wild, y'all. It does some crazy stuff. But we can redirect our neurological pathways. We get to choose what our mindset is. We get to choose where we stay, okay? If you're a Christian, it's called renewing your mind, or renewing of the mind. That's what that is, biblically speaking, okay? So we're going to move forward. We're not going to stay stuck in the past. We're not going to go on that negative path, okay? So that we can move on to our promised land, our dreams, what we want for our future, what we've envisioned this business can do for us. That's what we're going to do. We're focusing on that so we can move forward. Okay. You have to remember, again, this really does affect more than just you. I think it's so easy as a lead consultant, star consultant, a superstar consultant, sometimes even a director, to be like, okay, well, I'm just not feeling it. I just don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But remember, when we say negativity breeds negativity, I literally just talked to Whitney about this yesterday. Negativity breeds negativity, okay? Guess what? Fire burning passion breeds fire burning passion. Hope that your future is worth it to put in the hard work breeds hope your future is worth it if you put in the hard work, okay? It's all contagious. What are you passing down to your team? And then I need you to think, it's not just your front line, it's generations. I need you to have a long lens view. You are a lead consultant right now. You are a star consultant right now. Great. Congratulations. That's awesome, because we're focused on the next step. And then the next step, and then the next step. What happens one day when you're super negative or you've been positive this whole time, you get to that dream title that you want to be at, and then all of a sudden you're super negative and you start focusing on the negative. and the disbelief. What happens then? Because it's not just your team at that point, it's your group, okay? It's your whole entire group. So let's just look at Whitney, okay? Because she is not this way and she's amazing. If we look at Whitney, and Whitney sits here, and Whitney is the most negative, she doesn't shout anybody out, she doesn't ever encourage people or reach out to them, she's super negative about this business, she's like, oh yeah, well it is what it is, she works when she feels like it. That doesn't just affect one or two people. It doesn't. There's literally almost 1,000 people in this group. It trickles down to them all, okay? It's like, actually, it's they call it the butterfly effect, where one thing happens and it does a ripple, and then a ripple, and a ripple, and it just keeps going, right? Okay? That's a lot of freaking people. That's a lot of freaking people that affects. And like, we don't want that to happen. So where you're like right now, well, I only have a teammate and another teammate, or I only have 6 people on my team, that's great. What happens when it's bigger? Because it's going to get bigger if you keep doing the work, moving forward positively. You've got to keep that going. You've got to show up and bring that, I love this business is great. Can we be honest about it? Absolutely. Not everything in leadership is great. Let's be real, okay? But if we're negative about it all the time, oh my gosh, all the time, it now trickles down to this whole entire page. And then their people, and their people, and their people, okay? It's generational. And we have 2nd gen, 3rd gen, 4th gen, 5th gen. It goes all the way down, okay? I will give you this example. Her name is Kim. I don't know how many SSD she is, but when I met her for the first time in Disney, she literally looked and she was so excited and she's like, hi, oh my gosh, it's nice to meet you. And Whitney was introduced and I'm like, hi. Who is this? I don't know who this is. Like, okay, I don't know who she is. All right. But because she's got so many of us in between. Like I am like this over here. Okay. So many of us in between, but her being excited and her being like pumped up still about Scentsy to this day, about her Scentsy business was like, I love her. She's so exciting. She's awesome. When I saw her at SFR, I willingly gave her a hug. That's a big deal. If you know me, you should be like, dang, that's a shining example of what positivity and joy can do. It made on you give somebody a hug willingly. That's a freaking big deal. Okay? But the whole thing was like, I was excited to see her because she was excited to see me. Okay? That's what we want to be able to pass, that kind of love and excitement and joy down to our teams. We can do that honestly, but we can pass it down. Thank you, Sylvia. That is a big deal. That is huge for me. Okay, that's huge. I will give people hugs if they hug me, but like, you know, I don't know what's going to happen to my face when I give them a hug. I love them. I always love them. But, you know, sometimes I just get a little tapped out. Okay, we're moving on from that. Okay, so all of it's contagious. What are you going to do to make a change in your business? If you as a leader say, and we can even do this not just with your mindset, but physical things, right? If you can sit here and you can say, I only want to get 500 PRV. Okay? You only want to get 500 PRV. You never ever want to increase your goal. You never want to expand your network even further. You are a leader, so there is that. Okay, remember what leaders do in this group. But if that's what you're doing, you cannot expect a new leader to come up and do anything different. You might get super lucky. You cannot expect them to do anything different. If you are a director and you do not show up to train your team, you cannot expect your leaders to show up. Okay? If you're a leader and you don't show up and your people are on your director's page and they don't see you training, guess what's going to happen when you're a director? Hate to be the one to bear bad news, but they're not going to show up either. Okay? It's a trickle effect, all right? So we got to think about it even in business terms. What action are we going to do to make a change? In your business, your personal business with your customers, okay? Your PRV, maybe it's your goals, okay? If you stop working this month right now because you hit your goals and you're good and the flash sale was bombed, guess what your team's going to do, homie? They going to stop too, okay? So what are you going to do to make that change, all right? It needs to be, you can do a tangible thing too, not just for your mindset, all right? What about when it comes to your sponsoring? If you've not been sponsoring and you've not even been having conversations, or you've been sponsoring sporadically, but you're like, one day I'm going to have that big business. Well, you sponsoring sporadically probably is not going to get you there. I'm going to be very transparent, okay? Love you enough to tell you the truth, all right? You sponsoring consistently is what is going to get you there, okay? Training, coaching those people up. What do we need to do to make a difference? Do we need to have that one conversation a day? Do we need to start small, right? And say, okay, well, I'm going to have 2 conversations a week. Okay, what do we need to do to make that change? So then it trickles down to your team to also make that change. All right, your team not growing is really, truly, super, please don't hate me, super, truly, honestly, a lack of effort. It's a lack of effort. And I know it's uncomfortable, and I don't want to have those conversations either sometimes. Like, I really don't feel like it sometimes, y'all. I really don't. But I have to switch my mind. Who can I bless with this business? Who could this possibly change the game for them? Who could this buy a coffee for, and she just needs a moment to her dang self because these kids, like, who can I do that for? It can't be about me, because then I wouldn't do it. I'm gonna be real honest. And some people are different. Some people are money motivated. So for them, they're like, yes, it's a blessing for others, but also I'm ready to go. Okay. Sometimes that's not it. Sometimes you're like, I really just don't want to do this. Okay. So where can you make that change? How can you make that change with your goals to get where you want to be, to tangibly show your team what to do so that they will do it also, okay? But remember, it's going to all start in your belief system, in your mind, and we're not being grasshoppers anymore, okay? Okay, we're not doing that, all right? All right. Okay, so I want you guys also to remember that there will always be giants in your life. There will always be obstacles in your life. There will always be hard times, hard things in your life. Side note, I don't know if anybody knows this, but my dad is still in the Army to this day. And he's getting ready to be done with one command and go into a next. But he was paralyzed from the waist down. Nope. Neck down. Waist down? I don't know. Either way, he was never supposed to walk again. Okay? Literally, he was a teenager. He was never supposed to walk again. And this story sticks in my mind all the time. And I think it's one of the biggest reasons why I'm like, no, like, we're going to make it happen, right? I know that, like, only God can put a limit on me. So, like, let's see what happens. Let's do it. But my dad was never supposed to walk again, okay? If you ever meet him in person, he's got a huge scar down the back of his neck where they had to go in and do all these things. And he said that the doctors were very, very serious. They were like, you know, you'll never walk again. You'll never play football again, okay? My dad is in the United States military to this day, okay? He went into the military, I think, at like 18. He's been in this whole time, okay? I think he's been in for like 30-something years. It's a long time. Mom, if you watch this, correct me. But it's a long time. He definitely should retire. But his mom said, that is great that you have all this medical knowledge as a doctor, but you are putting a limit on my son that only God can put on him. And she prayed over him every day. She was there every single day, praying over him, praying over him, praying over him. And he's still in the United States military. Like, he runs with my kids. My kids actually said yesterday, Pops is one of the fastest people we know. They're so funny. I'm like, is he though? I mean, I don't know. He's in the military. I don't know if he's the fastest person you know. But, like, that's the thing, okay? So there's always going to be something that's going to be like, you can't. It's not going to happen. It's not possible. What are you believing in to work towards it? Maybe it's not possible. Maybe it's not going to happen for you. But guess what? If you work towards it, you're one step closer. If you work towards it, you're going to learn something in the process. It's going to better you as a leader. It's going to better your group. It's going to better your team. Okay? It's going to better your mindset. It might just better you as a person. Okay? So I want you just to keep that in your head. There will always be giants. Always. What are we going to do about it? Right? Like, okay, there's a giant. Hey! And we going to keep on going. Like, that's what that means. We're going to say hey to it, and we're going to keep on going because we're focused on our future. We're focused on where we're going. Okay? We're not focused on the giant. We're focused on where we're going. All right? I don't know. I just gave that whole squirrel. Sorry, y'all. But I hope that resonates with somebody. Okay? I want you guys to move in the truth of your business. There's truth in your business. And when you're like, Scentsy hasn't done anything for me yet, I want you to go find people that it has done things for. Okay? And I want you to pay attention to them. And I want you to listen to their stories and soak in their freaking stories until Scentsy does something for you. Okay? Because it is true. And when you move in truth, it's only going to get better for you. Okay? It's only going to get better for you. All right? If we don't move in truth, if we don't move in, you know what, this is going to happen, I can do this, I believe in myself, all right, then you're going to wander in the consequences of that disbelief. And that's just a whole lot of negativity. I don't know about you, but I ain't trying to do all that, okay? Like, no thanks. No thanks. There's enough going on in my head. I don't need all that too, okay? I want you to not stop believing in yourself. And I know that's easier said than done, but I want you to go to somebody who does believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. I'm really struggling this month with my mindset. All right, girl, let's pump you up. Come on. Somebody's got to speak life into you. Go listen to a podcast, listen to a sermon, read a positive book, whatever it is, somebody's got to pour that into you, okay? I want you guys to remember that you are not going to let the giant of disbelief, and you are not going to let grasshopper leadership, okay, be passed on to your team and your group. We're not doing that. We're not passing that on to them, okay? We are passing on that they freaking can, because they can. Like, you don't know what they can't do. Let me just be real clear. You don't even know what you can't do. Listen, I mean, come on now. Like, there are some things that I've done and I'm like, did I really do that? That was me? I never would have thought. Okay? Like, you don't even know what you can't do. So don't put a limit on other people or on your group or on yourself, right? We're going to sit here and we are going to pass on belief. We're going to pass on hope. We're going to pass on positivity. Okay, not toxic positivity. Like, we can be honest in our positivity, but we're going to pass all those things on, and we're going to do the work to show them what leading from the front actually looks like, because it's not just in your numbers. It is, but it's also not. There's more to it than that, okay? You're going to show up. You're going to pour back in. You're going to give more than you take, okay? And you're not going to let those giants stop you. I would say if you have to set your kit down for a second for a giant, okay? But then you got to pick it right back up. Don't just drop it off in the trash and be like, I'm done with this business, because you don't know when your circumstances are going to change. Story of my business, to where you're like, oh crap, I need this. This is going to be my livelihood, and this is going to change the game. And then it does. Then it does. Okay? So, I want you guys to know this. Yes, Sylvia, thank you. Acknowledge your feelings. Don't feed into them. Okay? Even take a day. Listen, I had to take a day the other day because I was so sad and just lonely because my husband's deployed. And I took a day and I was just like, wah, wah, wah. And then guess what? The next day's a new day. I got to figure my life out. I can't just sit in my bed whining and watching trash TV every single day of my life. It's not going to get me anywhere. It's not going to teach my kids anything. My house is going to be a wreck more than it already is. Okay? Like, I got to do something. All right? So choose to do something in your business. Take a day if you need to, but choose to do something, and don't just sit stagnant. This month, we are content because we are super happy. We are proud of what we've already accomplished, but like, we're not complacent. We're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to do the darn thing, and we're going to shock ourselves. Okay? Okay, I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday and a wonderful weekend. It is going to be good if you've hit your goals, set new goals, okay? Hey, what SFR friend? I love it. I love her. I'm glad you're here. Congratulations. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. If you've hit your goals, we're setting higher ones. We're doing the darn thing. We're going to finish July with a bang. I'm not going to give you guys the joke that I gave my team because it was not funny. So I hope that you finish July with a bang, and we're going to trickle that down to our teams, okay? We're not going to stop. We're going to do the darn thing, and we're going to be proud of ourselves at the end of this month and be like, holy crap, I am not a grasshopper leader. I'm a leader that's going to do the darn thing. All right? Do the darn thing. I love y'all. Bye.